Well, welcome back to the GPVWC Superleague at Albert Park. Apologies for the slight technical difficulties we just had there. We're not sure what happened, but we should be fixed now. And there's been some drama since we've been away. Daniel Brewer is now leading the race as we come through the first round of pit stops. Obviously, Adam Maguire on the hard tyres now, going to the end. That's a bold strategy. Brewer, though, leading from Jordan, from Simracing, from Ruel, from Williams, who made a mistake and lost 2 places. Dennis Jordan got past Yerny Simracing. Well, he was past Yerny Simracing anyway, but Matthew Williams dropped from P2 to P3 and then down to P5. He'll be kicking himself in that flag to flat car as we now have Daniel Brewer in the Edge Esports car. He is coming in. What tyres is he going to go on as he pulls into his pit box? He is now on the mediums.
And Adam Maguire has kept ahead of Yannick Buck and all of that. However, Buck is on the mediums as well. And personally, I think that Buck is in a better position here, since I think he can go to the end of the race. So Maguire now will be hoping that he can hold him up, as that may be his only chance of keeping him behind until his tyres are better as we happen towards the end of the race. But anyway, Dan Brewer is rejoined right behind Alex Cooper. That wasn't part of the plan. Cooper just bypassed him into turn 1. Meanwhile, they're very close to contact. There was slight contact between Zappala and Panzer. They got very close down into turn 3. Both of them on different strategies. Zappala has pitted. Panzer, of course, is running long on those hard tyres.
Yeah, obviously Panzer going for a long first stint. Right, oh dear, what was that?
That was Fabrizio Gobbi and Robin Panzer coming together. They both went off. So Gobbi went up the inside of Panzer, but clipped the sausage curb, and they both went over the grass. Lost a bit of time. Luckily, didn't lose any places. Although, time lost both of them in that.
Jordan in, and he locks his brakes, trying to get it down to stop for the pit speed limit. That was very, very close from Dennis Jordan there. Really having to push hard on those brakes to get the car stopped as he comes into the lane and comes in for a pit stop. I'm not sure whether he actually managed to get it stopped in time. Oh, he just got it done. He comes out on the mediums, but that was so close to a stop-go penalty for Jordan there. He just got it stopped. Kearsmakers and Williams also out of the pits now in P15 and P16. Golby back into the points then.
Yeah, Kearsmakers, I think, just jumped Williams in the pits. It was very close. They were side by side coming out, but I'm pretty sure that Williams went in ahead.
Brewer and Jordan are in contact with each other. Daniel Brewer forces down the inside, contact again. It's argy-bargy for P9 between these two. Neither is going to quit, but Dennis Jordan eventually has to yield. That was absolutely nail-biting. I thought they were both going to go off.
I don't know how they didn't, to be honest. That was very much like the accident between Sebastian Vettel and Robert Kubica back in 2009 at the same corner, and he gets very close in the braking zone as well. It's easy to just snag the rear end of the car in front, but they keep it under control. Dennis Jordan, of course, one of the cleanest drivers in the field, had a cracking championship battle last year with Siebel and Buck, and finished second at the end of all of that. He hopes to go one better this year. Something.
You wait ages for battle, and they all come along at once. Simracing in the pits, rolled in the pits. I'm watching this battle between 12th and 14th between Cooper, Zappala and Golby, all on different strategies and compounds. Adam Maguire is retaking the lead. He is now on the hard tyres, though. He's got to go to the end. So we may see him keep the lead. We may see him lose it. Who knows? Bott is second on the mediums, followed by D'Amelio in third. From Kilk, who gets past Lineck into turn 1. Brilliant move from the Estonian there on the pole. And then it's Brewer from Jordan from Simracing for Shuley. But we have so many battles kicking off now. We've got a huge change from 10 to 14. As Zappala's going for Cooper, Rualt's going from a Shuley. As I said, you wait ages for one fight. Now they all come along at once.
It's important to remember, though, that David Vidok and Maciej Winnick there have not yet pitted. They've been battling for a while. Vidok, of course, got past Winnick when he made a mistake right when our stream went off. But, they're probably about 15th or 16th in the effective order, not 4th and 6th where they are now. And Riot Kilk may be getting held up because he is right behind David Vidok. He'll be on fresher tyres. We've also got a move going on. That was Zappala getting past Cooper, and that's over at 12th position. Cooper, another driver who I think is yet to stop, and he's going to come back at Zappala. No, he's not, because the next corner is the weight chicane, and there really is no chance through there.
Yeah, Maguire, the one obviously who's really got the most to lose here. He cannot stop again on those hard tyres, or he's going to lose out big time because of the potential time loss and strategy loss. Kilk, Fidek, D'Amelio all caught him in this battle for gross third. Obviously, after some stops, that won't be actually third place. But as it stands, they are fighting for third. If they really send it here, it would be for third. Cooper in, finally. So Gobi's going to get some fresh air to attack the YTF1 of Zapala with as he moves up into 13th place.
You say finally, but that's one of our first stops from drivers who who started on the medium tyres, and that's a set of softs going on. So he's doing exactly the same strategy as most other drivers, but the other way around. Now we've got Moose almost touching the rear end of Gaia coming out at the first couple of corners. Gaia, of course, started in the pit lane, but that doesn't count as his official stop, so he's yet to pit. Moose ducks underneath him on the hard tyres and runs out of road.
Yeah, Matthias Moose going for it as well. Obviously, on the hard tyres, he's got to look after them in a sense. Otherwise, he's going to be in problems come the end of the race. Gaia and Moose obviously fighting it out. As are Butcher and Panzer still scrapping at it. We have got battles up and down the order now. Obviously, with the stops having happened and shaking things up a bit, D'Amelio was very slow through that chicane. He slowed right down there. I think those tyres are starting to get to the end of their life. That's why Cooper came in. So Luke and D'Amelio are expecting in soon. Right, Kelk obviously on the hards here. And he's going to have to push, but also conserve as well. He's got the exact same problem as anyone else on the hards, like Adam Maguire. But Yannick Bott has got a bit more freedom because we think he's possibly going to have to stop again. Maybe not, if he can do a really good job of preserving them, but we anticipate he might have to stop again.
D'Amelio stays out again, and Kilk will be getting frustrated, but here he goes. So Kilk has been getting held up. He's going to put a stop to that now, and that's going to be over before the corner. Not the ideal line to enter turn one from, but he's made the move stick. D'Amelio may have a short comeback at him, but actually Kilk has the DRS here, which may well help him. Also, Williams passed Kears makers further back, and I think that is for position because both of them have made pit stops. But anyway, as I was saying, right, Kilk fends off Luca D'Amelio, and he's now going to start stretching his legs and pulling away.
Yeah, Kel finally getting some clean air. That's really going to help his cause. I was watching the Williams-Kiersmacher's fight. Lauren Kiersmacher has offered basically little to no resistance there. There was so much overspeed by Williams come the actual corner. He just shot past him. I don't think Lauren wanted to fight that fight. I think he's happy in P15. That's a perfectly valid strategy. Sometimes you just got to preserve where you are. If you don't want to fight, then you don't have to fight and lose time because you've got Chris Butcher behind you. You don't want to lose too much time, otherwise he's going to get through.
So towards the end of the 28th lap of racing goes Adam McQuay. He's already extended his lead right the way out. Bit of a change of position there. That was Brewer passing Fidok. He's still yet to pit, and that would have been a relatively easy move. Fidok probably going to pit in the next couple of laps. We're over halfway through the race, and just so say that he does duck into the pits. So Fidok in, D'Amelio is not in, so he stays out yet and again. I'm expecting probably a pit stop from the other drivers on medium tyres next lap, and Fidok's on hards. Now I don't see why he doesn't go into softs here, because I reckon you could go to the end on softs here. We've got actually no, we've got 30 laps to go, so it does make sense that he's on hards. My apologies.
Yeah, David Fidek obviously in the pits and coming out of the pits. Obviously just wants longevity in the tyres, and he's going to go for it. This will be until the end. We're almost halfway through the race. Mirko Lucchini in one of the green striped racing cars. He comes in and he goes onto the softs, does Mirko. So he'll be hoping for either 30 laps out of those softs, or alternatively for another stop. I think he'll be stopping again, but we'll have to wait and see whether he does or does not do that. As we go up and down the field though, some positions still sorting themselves out, but we have a big train coming on. If you look from P5 all the way down to P10, cars chasing each other, and we've got some overtakes coming up possibly. Jordan, Simracing, both very close to overtakes. Jordan on my neck could be a great one if this goes.
So almost halfway through the race now. Sorry for saying it was half the way through the race earlier. I got my laps confused, which is also why you got confused in terms of strategy. We now have half the race done. McQuire is leading by 4.2 seconds from Yannick Buck, and then it's Kilk, Brewer, D'Amelio still not pitting. This is a long stint on those softs. I wonder whether he's going for a one stop. I think he probably is at this rate. Then we've got Jordan, who's just about to pass D'Amelio, pretty much question. Winnick's just been passed by Simracing there. Winnick also still to stop. And Jordan, closer to Emilio, but not quite able to pull a move yet into that corner. Masculi and Raw are fighting closer further back, and this is a slightly more important battle. And Raw's got that move done. That's for 9th in the order, but probably a bit higher up later on, since Raw has just come out of the pit lane.
Yeah, look at Emilio here. I would say that strategy is brave. I'm not going to say whether I think it's good or bad because I'm not totally sure myself, but it's brave is what it is. I definitely have to commend him for trying this alternate tactic, and then it's Jordan behind, obviously on the mediums too, as is Emilio, but Jordan looking significantly faster, but not finding a way through, and that's going to hold him up. This could give me any sympathy to chance, actually. But Jordan is going to get through now, as you see. D'Amelio can't really do too much about it. Jordan slots in. Now he's got Simracing beside him. I think he hit the brakes a bit earlier there. Didn't want to fight that fight. Now he's got Matthew Liner coming to his D'Amelio, and he's fallen down the order big time. I think if he's going to come into the pits, he's going to do it. Well, he's not going to do it now, but maybe next lap.
So I think two-stop strategies are looking much more likely now. I got it wrong before because for some reason my mind made me think that 20 plus 28 equals 58, which it doesn't. But anyway, so I expect probably two-stoppers from most of these drivers, except those who went from the soft straight onto the hard. I think they're probably running to the end like Adam Maguire.
That's very possible. I've just noticed Christopher Squires in the pits, but we've lost Danny Van Der Neat as well from the race. So that is the second Madcape out. Double the head after the first of the season. Not the way they wanted to start. Van Der Neat's reason for retirement, he dropped it out of... he dropped it before. I wish I had my track back up because I've lost it there, but he whacked it into a barrier, lost the rear wing, and I had to just call it a day because at that point... You've lost all of your rear downforce, probably damaged the suspension seriously. Tell you exactly where it was. It was coming into turn out of turn 5. That is a rare place to lose it.
Well, we saw a couple of people doing it in Superleague Light yesterday. Of course, it's a very fast corner and it's got AstroTurf and grass on the outside. That's where Winnick almost dropped it earlier, where he lost the place to Fidok. And yeah, I can see exactly why drivers would crash there. But anyway, disappointment from the Madcape.
Oh, we got a big train now. Look at this. From D'Amelio and 70's holding everybody up all the way back to Lauren Kiersmack as in 14th. And Fabrizio Golby almost went in the back of Germano Zappala. That's how close this train is. They're all jostling for position now, and the DSA really starting to do its thing here, and traffic starting to build up. All of these cars bunched up, unable to get through. This is exactly what we thought the DTA might be doing. Zappala and Gorby going at a hammer and tongs at each other to try and find out who's going to be P11 at the end of this. Is fascinating stuff.
And that is exactly the disadvantage of pitting earlier or for softer tyres, because in this situation, D'Amelio is losing far less time than the entire train behind them.
And look at this, even Chris Butcher's caught out now. Butcher wants to go away. This is brilliant. I've not seen this in years, honestly. This sort of train, this close, usually in years gone by, especially at the end of the season, cars can zip past each other in the DTA, but this year, not this year, especially at the start, they're going to be struggling to get through. This is tough going for anyone who just wants to get the overtake done. Sending it is not an option. You have to wait your time. And Germano Zappala just found that out, tried to go for Masuli, but nothing went.
So that whole snake heads through the final few corners of the track towards the final turn. Someone ducked a wheel into the grass. Gobby there pulled out of the... well, I think he tried to scare Zappala into making a mistake there. But it's really quite fruitless at this point, because it's not necessarily to do with who's ahead in this train that matters. It's all about who can get past...
Hands are in!
Indeed, yeah. It's all about who can get past Emilio first.
I was, again, cut you off there. Sorry about that. Robin Panzer's on the softs. Well, this is an interesting strategy. Possibly going two-stop. Maybe late. Oh, Gobi! Almost got hit by Williams there. That was a close call for Matthew Williams. Just got it stopped in time, but Robin Panzer might be doing a two-stop on softs and softs now. Obviously deciding the one-stop and not for him, unless he can get these tyres to the end of the race somehow. 26 laps, I doubt it on the soft. But this train really starting to cause problems now. Drivers starting to get a little bit hasty, possibly misjudging the braking, and cool heads are what prevail in circumstances like this, but I get the feeling if Maciej Mlinek can get past D'Amelio, everyone will soon filter through. This is the real bottleneck here. Look at D'Amelio holding everybody else up as we do, in fact, have a serious strain on our hands.
Indeed. And, sorry? Okay, never mind.
Oh.
Winnick, of course, in this train also still has to pit, so it's not just Emilio holding up the chain, but also Maciej Winnick. This is a proper scrap for effective positions between D'Amelio and Winnick. It's interesting to see as Winnick now comes into the pit, so it's just D'Amelio still going for the strategy of holding up this chain of cars. But anyway, it's interesting to see that the driver who started on hard tyres actually pitted before some of those who started on mediums.
Yeah, this is getting very close, obviously, with Mlinek out of the dirty air train. It forces Stefan Riol to try and get past Luca D'Amelio. He's going to, well, he almost sent it. I think he tried to sell him a dummy, but unfortunately, Luca D'Amelio was not buying. He's in the business of retaining, and he's in P7 as it stands still. I tell you what, he's taking everything that's being thrown at him, and he's deflecting it off like a rubber mattress here. A rubber ball on a rubber mattress. He's just bouncing straight off him.
And getting very close for third place as well. This is going to be one of the races where you need an extra set of eyes or three. But anyway, Daniel Brewer has been catching and catching. He's on the softer compound tyre. He's on mediums, whereas Kilk is on hards. He's got the DRS, and Brewer will probably try to make an overtake on Kilk in the next lap here.
This is going to be a really interesting one. Here goes Ruel, finally past Emilio. The train is broken, the chain is broken, and they can really keep themselves together now as Mashuni gets through too. 2 places lost, 3 places lost. Apala gets through. I predicted that once the chain was broken, the train would derail, and for Luca D'Amelio, his P7 has in fact come off the rails. He's down in 10th now, and he finally decides to come into the pits.
Well, now he would, because all of the advantage that he's got by being ahead of those cars has been taken away due to the dirty air. That is a wonderful time to pit.
Oh, well, almost a lunge alert there. Chris Butcher almost went for Lawrence Kersmackers, but didn't. I was standing by for it. Oh, Butcher round, loses his rear wing. He went for the lunge didn't work. He's cost him his rear wing. That is not good for Chris Butcher. He dropped it out of 2 there, just got caught up, and just the back went, gave up on him. He's gone round, and I fear that might be the end of the race for Butcher.
It's a Valtteri Bottas style crash, and indeed I think that's probably going to be the end. If I was him right now, he's
pushing way too hard.
Oh gosh, yeah, he really should be stopping that car, because the chance, even if he does get it back to the pit, he's going to be well out of the points, and at this rate he's just going to spin across someone's path and end up with a penalty.
He's pushed Alex Cooper into the points. The Green Stripes driver definitely going to do well here. Yeah, Butcher's lost it again. He really needs to get this car slowed down for everyone's sake. I'm not just saying that. I really do mean he really needs to take it nice and slowly here. It's going to cost him more time spinning. Luca D'Amelio's about to get through as well. I hope to Lord that he can get that car back to the pits nicely and safely.
The temptation is there. I mean, I've driven a car without a rear wing before, and I have to hold my hands up and say that I have driven cars in an unsafe state like that. Of course, in real Formula 1, you get a penalty if you do that for the next race. I think we should probably have a rule like that in GPVWC Super League, as well. But anyway, it is what it is, and he continues to attempt to get that car back to the pits. Meanwhile, I've been watching Kilk and Brewer. Brewer has had a couple of little sniffs, no proper big lunges or actual overtaking opportunities just yet, and still staying behind Riot Kilk, but so close, and I can't imagine he'll be happy with staying behind him for much longer.
Yeah, he's going to make a move soon. You got to feel sooner or later he's going to make a move and push a bit further forwards, but we'll have to wait until that happens before it does. Obviously, I think given what's just happened to Chris Butcher, I think drivers going to be a little bit more patient about what's going on, and well, patience is a virtue. These drivers learn that, and they know that. I know that, and well, let's just see if they are patient. Let's see if we see any overtakes or not. Dennis Jordan, well, hoping there won't be an overtake. He's currently engaged in a little bit of a duel with Jenny Simincic from P5.
Chris Butcher has made it back to the pits. They're replacing his rear wing, and off he goes. That took a long time. He's over a lap down now. He's well and truly out of the points, and he's going to need a miracle if he's going to score anything today.
Well, He might, but we'll have to see. I mean, I'm looking at Chris Butcher, P22 after that spin. That's cost him. He's a lap down. He's going to need a miracle for points, yeah, but very unfortunate spin that. Just goes to show sometimes you can push a little bit too hard.
Sometimes you can. These Super League cars can be relatively unstable at times. They're very they have a lot of grip, of course, but they only have a lot of grip until they have none at all, and then of course it just kind of snaps around. That's one of the reasons I've never been good in high-powered single seaters like this, because they do tend to do that, and. Of course, with it being rear-wheel drive as well, he would have been on the power at that point, and that would have made the car even more likely to go around. So that's exactly what happened. That's exactly why Chris Butcher is now effectively out of the running order.
Indeed, and that's why the drivers have got to be that little bit extra careful, especially when they're pushing on tyres that haven't quite heated up, or worn tyres, or any tyres really. Even the perfectly compounded, worn-in tyre can fail you if you push it a bit too hard. That's why you've always got to pace yourself. And it's why the best drivers, yes, they are the fastest, but they're also the most patient.
So Dan Brewer actually made a slight mistake on that last lap, dropped a couple of tenths of a second behind Riot Kilk. I think he's just struggling to follow the Red Archer car at this point in time. Someone pointed out earlier that we have both Red Archer and Red Arrow on the grid today, and indeed we do, so that's going to be probably one of the most confusing things in the series this year, especially since at the minute we've got 13th and 14th, Reese and Fidok, Red Archer followed by Red Arrow. You see I'm already getting them muddled up, but anyway, you can tell the difference because although they have relatively similar liveries, actually very similar liveries, the Red Arrow has slightly more white on it.
Yeah, really doing a good job as it stands. The Red Arrow, obviously, as it stands with that little bit extra weight on it. But I mean, when you're producing downforce, of course, your car does way more. But in dirty air, that result is effectively lessened. So you've got to take all that in when you calculate weights of cars. They're always changing, but the static weight is defined.
I said it's got slightly more weight on it, actually, but never mind. David Fidok in P14 at present for the Red Arrow car, and the other Red Arrow is not having a good day. That's Chris Butcher. Of course, he was having a good day until he lost control. So anyway, running down in P23, and the race continues on its way. Oh, Brewer got much closer to Kilk there. He's right back at... Oh, and Kilk sees him coming. Kilk goes slightly defensive there, trying to stop Brewer from getting into the toe down towards turn 3. That's one of the main overtaking opportunities of the lap. And Brewer's next opportunity, probably out of the weight chicane.
Yeah, Brewer really going to push hard here. He really wants to get this P3 done and dusted. Obviously, he's on softer tyres. Dan Kilk writes on the hards. Daniel is on the mediums. And Brewer knows he can use that to his advantage. He can just keep those tyres in shape. Dennis Jordan is not a threat. He's further behind. Simracing is his priority, so Brewer can just focus on getting this done. That's exactly what he needs to do.
So, through the weight chicane, opening the DRS and approaching the final sector of the course, has to set himself up for the final corner. Of course, the trouble with overtaking on this track is that all of the DRS zones come immediately after a very fast corner where it's difficult to follow the car in front. I had a race recently at the Esterald circuit where I was having a very similar problem, because the only place you can overtake there, again, is after a fast corner. It's much harder than it looks. It's not just about sending it down into turn 3, although you can do that if you're absolutely desperate. But anyway, they cross the line less than half a second apart, and still Brewer can't do anything about them.
Yeah, we're over 2/3 of the way through the race now, so I feel it's probably up that we give you an update on the top 10. You can see it on our lovely standings graphics, but just for the hard of visual, well, for the visually impaired, I suppose. Adam Maguire on the hard tyre is leading by 3.5 seconds from Yannick Bock from Right Kilk, who's in P3, and then Daniel Brewer charging hard to try and take that from him. He's currently in P4. Dennis Jordan's 5th from an ever-continuing Yerny Simracing in 6th, from Stefan Ruolt in 7th, Eros Mashuli in 8th, Simona Zapala 9th, Matthew Williams is 10th place. So some very good drivers in the top 10. Some drivers have really struggled this race, though. I mean, Alari Alpes, for one, P22 at the moment, he did not have a good start of the race, and he struggled to recover it ever since.
Alpius is much better than that. He's been a race winner in some of the categories that we've held, I think, and he was also one of the top drivers in the early part of last year's Super League Lights Championship. So yeah, it is surprising to see him that far back. Although he was affected by the first lap incident, he of course dropped it on the exit of turn 1, and that's one of the reasons he's so far back. Blue flags wouldn't have helped that. That would have continued the downward momentum. But anyway, into the pits comes Fabrizio Gobbi from 11th on the road, and this is his second stop. Yeah, that very much shows you just the sort of strategies that these front runners are going on to. Gobbi consistently in the midfield all the way through the race. He'll be on another set of soft tyres, will he? Yes, he is. So Gobbi leaves the pits now. P16. I reckon he's going to be, oh, he's P18 actually, but he's going to be elevated back into the points towards the end of the race. I think when more drivers make their second stop.
Well, I have to say, but we've been doing some maths in the meantime, and we got some statistics. We reckon the pit loss for a pit stop, the amount of time a driver loses, is about 19 seconds. So maybe if you look at where Adam Maguire is, he's made the right choice here because Yannick Bocco only 3.6 behind, so he would not come out ahead of him in this state. Obviously, you've got to consider he's on harder tyres and might be further ahead, but he'd need about 22, 21 seconds to be well clear of Boc. So he might make if he has to make an emergency pit stop, he might come out P6. So obviously trying to stay out as much as he can. We reckon the soft's obviously good for about 23 to 28 laps. The mediums for about 35, and the hards about 46 laps. So there is definitely if you're on the hards, you'll be going one stop, medium possibly one stop if you're also using mediums. Otherwise, you might go two softs, and if you're on the softs, you have to stop at least twice if you're not using the hards. So some statistics, some quick fire statistics for you. Hopefully you took some of them in.
Jolly good. I was just checking as well, something that I've been meaning to check for a while, whether this is Gobbi's first race with GPVWC, and indeed it is. So welcome to GPVWC to Fabrizio. A decent first outing, and it's great to see a driver jumping straight up into Super League and running in the points positions. That's always exciting. A talent for the future. But anyway, yeah, welcome Fabrizio.
Yeah, obviously Fabrizio doing his best in the circumstances provided to him. Obviously, what part of a brand new lineup for Brazil Sports this season. New to GPVWC, but very, very talented driver. Otherwise, well, he wouldn't have that car, would he? You got to have talent to get in with the Valiant, Vodball, a Bruzy crew these days, whatever you want to call them. They are indeed a powerhouse of the GPVWC, and Gobbi is obviously impressed enough to be where he is, and it is a bit of a trial by fire in GPVWC coming straight into Super League. As a team like Flag to Flag, I'll tell you, they did that in 2018. But he's doing all right. I think if he can get to the end of the race, it'll be a good way to get his feelers in, and he can improve from there. Because some people just need a few races to get their eye in and get to their full potential.
First GPVWC race as well for Mirko Lucchini. So welcome to Mirko. He's currently the last car in the lead lap. Doing a decent job, and may still stand chance of points if things go wrong ahead of him. Hasn't been the strongest of first showings, but it's definitely better than I could do, and yeah, it's good to have more members to the league. So 2 rookies making their debut. We have some other drivers making their first step up to Super League, making their Super League debut. I don't have a list of who those drivers are in front of me just yet, but I know we have a couple. But anyway, yeah, that's how things. That's how things are in terms of new members. Still watching Kilk versus Brewer, still no change. Kilk having the upper hand despite being on the harder tyres.
Indeed, Kilk still looking for an advantage. Just very, very briefly go back to Fabrizio Gobbi. On that fresh rubber, he's just gone and took the fastest lap of the race. So
wow.
That shows at least got one lap pace, and he's starting to gel with the car in this final quarter of the race, which we are now heading into. Obviously, Adam Maguire has completed 43 laps. He's on lap 44. I believe that means there's 15 to go.
yeah, 15 to go at the end, oh sorry, at the start of this one, because of course we're going to lap 58. And Adam Maguire continues to lead by 3.8 seconds. We're still expecting at least one more pit stop from Yannick Buck, as Alex Cooper pits meanwhile. Not sure if we're expecting one for Adam Maguire. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for another one, but Yannick Buck almost definitely. And I think the way that Buck isn't catching up dramatically to Maguire shows that maybe Maguire needs a second stop too.
Well, Maguire has been pretty consistent on terms of his lap time since he came in for that pit stop. He came in obviously on lap 20, we believe, for the hard tyres. And since then, all of his laps have been within a second of the best. His best lap on those tyres was a 24.5. He's not gone slower than a 25.5 on those tyres. And if he can keep that up for a little bit longer, he might be able to pull out enough of a gap to win this race. Fabrizio Gorby has just done a 23.7. He's getting faster and faster as he goes on those new tyres. That is impressive, and he's catching up to the hard tyre shod Robin Panzer now. Well, not hard anymore, sorry. The formerly hard tyre shod Robin Panzer, who's now on softs.
Indeed, Panzer are much older softs, so they're both on the same tyre compound, but not the same tyre life. And Gobby, with those previous flying laps, is getting closer visually. And yeah, he's probably going to go for a move very, very shortly. He's also got D'Amelio just up the road as well. D'Amelio, incidentally, lost about 5 seconds to Winnick in in all of that, despite pitting only, I think, 2 laps later than him. So I think probably D'Amelio left it out too late were his tyres. But that also may partly be because he is fending off Robin Panzer as we speak.
Yeah, Panzer obviously pushing on to get past D'Amelio, who lost all those positions in that train earlier. And obviously Fabrizio Gorby obviously now possibly going to get balked behind Panzer. But Gorby obviously on very fresh rubber, and he's got a determination now, you feel, to get past Panzer, get into the points and get a good position made for Abruzzi Esports here. Obviously they wanted to be at the top of the table come pre-season. They wanted to be at the top of the table at the end of the season too. They just want to win everything. And, well, they're not looking like they're going to win this race, obviously, but Fabrizio Gorby definitely going to lay down a good marker. He can get some solid points here today. He'll be chasing Robin Panzer in that Burst Basilia car for P16. Luca D'Amelio's priority is just going to be able to hold on to that point that he's got.
So we're now over 3/4 of the way through the race. We're into the latter stages. And still we're expecting pit stops, second pit stops from some of these drivers. Question marks over the leader, Adam Maguire. Although again, if he was going to go right to the end, we'd expect him to be moving a lot slower than this. But anyway, Maguire still leading by 4 seconds, 4.3 ahead of Yannick Buck. And if they both need to stop, or both don't need to stop, then that means that Adam Maguire does well and truly have the advantage here. He's doing a fantastic job, and we'll have to see exactly what strategy he has in mind. I think at this stage it's probably most likely a... He's got to be going to the end, because otherwise he would have stopped for softs by now. It's just 12 laps to go. Yeah, surely he's going to the end, because if he wasn't, he'd have pitted about 8 laps ago. And Gobby spins, just as we were saying he was improving. He's lost his nose. So just as we were saying he was improving the best lap time of the race. And sadly, I can't see exactly how that happened, since my game has a weird lag at that point on the replay.
I'll tell you exactly how it happened. He tried to go for Panzer, went down the inside, and I think either Robin Panzer just turned it a little bit too early there, or Gorby was overshooting the corner, but his Panzer's front wing touched the rear left tyre of Gorby. That sent him off. Then he came back on track, and he just put a bit too much power on, back end slid out, lost his nose. And that is how that happens. So Fabrizio Gorby is back down. He has hurt it badly, and he is going to move down the order again. That is a big shame for Gorby. I thought he was getting a move on there, but unfortunately, he's just lost it a bit. Easy enough to do, but it's going to cost him big time.
One of the fastest drivers on track will race through, and he's having to pit and probably drop out of the points in his very first Superleague race and first race with GPVWC full stop. Nonetheless, we hope that he has enjoyed his experience of his first race, and well, it's still not over yet. We've still got about 20% of the race still to go, about a fifth of it. And he's just been lapped actually, so Brewer has gone past the pit exit. Meanwhile, Kilk and Brewer got very close there in the third sector. That battle is still not over yet, and they're actually going to reach Gobby before long. So
Oh, Martin Reineck throw on David Feidig there. Obviously, Feidig on the hards, so there was a bit of a pace differential, but that's a crucial move for the pole, who moves through to P13 as there is 80% of the race done. He goes into 13th place, and that is going to be crucial for him if he wants to catch Matthias Bush, who's also on the hard tyres.
So, Maguire followed by Buck, Kilk and Brewer in the last fifth of the race, but Kilk and Brewer very, very close. Jordan, I think, is catching up to this bunch as well at quite a rate of knots. 124.2 last lap for Jordan, and 124.9 last lap for Brewer. So Jordan could well get involved in this, and he's bringing Yanni Simonchuk for company as well. We could well have a four-way fight for second in these late stages. Again, I don't think any of these drivers are going to have to pit again, because if they did, they'd have already done it by now. So one-stop strategies for the leaders, and this is going to be a tense finish.
It seems to be paying off dividends for Maguire, who is doing the fantastic job that he needs to here to keep that lead. Obviously, Yannick Bock as well, having stopped on lap 22, has not stopped since. So if he can get those mediums to the end, which he possibly can, this could be a great run from him, but he's got to catch Maguire. That's the problem. And if we look at their lap times, well, it might not be as easy as that, because looking at the lap times between Adam Maguire and Yannick Bock, Maguire, his last 5 laps have all been 124s, very close to each other. In fact, 4 laps within a tenth of each other, only doing a 24.9 last lap. So he has definitely got the consistency that he needs. Yannick Bock has been doing 24.6, 25. His lap times have been considerably more all over the place. Right now, it's Maguire who's got the consistency, but it's Bock who's got the pace. He just can't make the most of it.
Last lap, Dennis Jordan took another 3/10 out of it, 3/10 of a second out of the battle between Kilk and Brewer. Kilk and Brewer stayed exactly where they were in terms of their the gap to each other, or pretty much exactly where they were. They're not catching Gobby. Gobby will be pulling away, so I don't think they're going to reach traffic anytime soon. They might still, although Gobby looking pretty quick at this point in the race. Of course, he'll be going to the end on the soft compound of tyre, and will probably set laps which were just as fast or even faster than the laps he was setting before. In fact, his last lap there, I believe, was the fastest lap of the race. Am I right?
Well, fastest lap now has just gone to Fabrizio Gobbi, but it was actually given briefly to his teammate Christian Pasquale, who said it, and now Gobbi's taking it back. So on track at this point in time, with those soft tyres and a reduced fuel load, the Abruzzi cars are the fastest. I think they're probably just going for fastest lap at this point. I'm going to be brutally honest.
Winnick's been off there. He dipped wheels into the grass, ran wide, and Fiduk's gone back through into 13th.
Oh, that could be a big one there. Imagine Linek losing track position to David Fidek, and a couple of seconds obviously to going off as well. That could be problematic. He's got to catch back up and get past Fidek now, who is set to get some solid points from Red Arrow in their Super League debut. And that would be good for them, of course. Red Arrow getting some good points in the form of Fidek where he is. That would really help them out in their first race.
And that means that twice in this race, Fiduk has passed Winnick, and both times it's because Winnick has dipped wheels into the grass and made a big error. So I think Winnick needs to work on his consistency and possibly retaining mental stamina for future rounds.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. You've got to be a consistent driver like Adam Maguire has been. He has not put a foot wrong, really, this whole race, to be honest. I mean, I'm looking at these laps. Pretty much all of his laps on these hard tyres have been within a second of each other. That is brilliant. Almost machine-like consistency from the Irishman. He is going to be on course for this race win if he does not continue if he continues to not slip up, rather. But Yannick Bock, 3.8 seconds behind. Unless he gets his skates on, he's not going to be able to win this race.
Well, yeah, we talk about consistency, of course, and Matthew Winnick losing those positions due to consistency. Remind me what they nicknamed David Fidok again.
Mr. Consistency.
Absolutely, and he's gained positions through exactly that. That's why he's running in P13 at the minute, and that highlights just how important it is. Not necessarily to be the fastest driver. Winnick, I expect, has probably set faster laps than Fido. Oh, who's that coming through? That's D'Amelio. So D'Amelio now has passed Winnick. Winnick's got run wide, and Panzer's gone through as well.
Well, Robin Panzer into the points. Great for the Super Swedes. He is going to be happy about that. D'Amelio in 14th, a very good result as well so far. Reineck is slipping up faster and faster by the seconds go by, it seems. Really needs to just get himself settled. I think this might be unnerving him a bit.
Yeah, indeed. His last 2 laps have been 4 seconds off the pace due to little off some mistakes. And this lap will be about the same after that. So, yeah, Winnick making mistakes now. I wonder whether his tyres have started to drop off the cliff, whether there's a more sudden cliff than he expected. Because that looking at his times, that's not just gradual degradation of the tyres. He was in the 124s just 2 laps ago, and now suddenly he can't keep the car on the road.
Yeah, definitely struggling a little bit is my neck here. To go back to David Fide, though, as you rightly say, we do call him Mr. Consistency for a reason. Definitely one of the most consistent drivers on the field. Won the 2014 championship, not off the podium the entire season. That's how consistent he was back then. He was not off the podium.
Yeah, so I should correct what I said earlier. I said that he was champion in 2015 and 2016. I think it was actually 2014 and 2016.
It might have been 2015, but it could have. I think it was. But I have a feeling it was 2014.
Sure. Okay.
His first one.
Well, there you go. Anyway, I joined GPVWC in 2017, so.
Well, we can't all be historians. I
Yeah.
tell you what, though, Adam Maguire looking to make a bit of history for Adonis Engineering, though. I mean, they have had obviously some tougher seasons. Last year they were 10th. Sorry, not last year. Sorry, they were 8th, and then they were 10th the previous year. They won a race last year, but it hasn't been since Canada since they won. Prior to that, they hadn't won since 2016. So has been tough times for the team. They were 8th last year. Giovanni Zapata, actually full-time driver, and is looking to get another good result here. Obviously, his best in Superleague last year was 6th. He's on for P9 as it stands, and about to, well, he's only 4 seconds off his ex-teammate, Eros Mashuli, actually.
Interestingly, I'm pretty sure that Eros Mashuli was the driver who claimed the last victory for the Evolution Motorsports, sorry, not Evolution, Adonis Engineering team. Of course, that was back in 2016 where Mashuli placed, I think, 2nd in the championship overall. Won one Grand Prix, or was it 2? So I know a bit of GPWC history, but anyway. Mashuli there in 8th position at present, being upstaged by his teammate Adam Maguire, who, so long as his tyres stay intact, looks set to win on his return to the GPVWC Championship, his first race since 2018, 2 seasons ago now. That's pretty scary to say, but anyway, he goes on to lap 54, so just this lap, and then 4 more to go for the checkered flag falls, and his advantage is 3.9 seconds and staying steady.
He's definitely holding his own as Adam Maguire, very talented Irishman, and obviously he has Super League experience, but limited Super League experience. Only 2 races in 2016 and 1 in 2018, has not finished higher than 10th in a Super League race. That is how little experience he's had in these cars, but he's a talented young man, he really is. And he is going for this win today, and he means it.
Now, one thing that I should point out that some people in the chat spotted, Dennis Jordan had a half spin 5 minutes ago, and is now down in 6th position behind Yoni Simoncic. That's a change for the 5th. Sorry that we didn't pick that up earlier. But Simoncic is now right in the back of Kilk and Brewer. And Jordan, having made that mistake, is now a couple of seconds behind the rest of that battle pack.
Indeed, he is pushing hard as Dennis Jordan to regain lost positions. Adam Maguire, though, 53 laps done. He's about to complete his 54. Complete his 54. Start lap 55. 4 laps to go at the end of this one, and he's looking at 4 seconds ahead, like Bok would need a second a lap. And on these tyres, under these circumstances, I don't think he's going to get it.
So, still, battle is still going on in the final 1/10 of this race. We've got Kilk versus Brewer for third versus Simoncic as well, who is right on their tail. We've also got Raw versus Masculi, and that is for and Zappala's off. Zappala is in the gravel.
Oh, Zappala! Zappala is off. That is a big one for the Italian stallion there. He's gone off. It's after the chicane. He was coming round, and it was that is just a straight lock up there. Coming into Ascari, and he's lost
it's brake fade. It's brake fade. His brakes have failed, and he's off the road and in the wall.
Brake fade for Zappala. Those brakes are crying it off. His brakes have failed him. That is a disaster for the YTF1 car. He's down to P15. This could be a race ender for the Italian. After all he's done, that would be disaster.
Well, you saw how the car snapped in the braking zone. That was the brakes just giving up effectively. And that will surely be his race over because there we go. He parks it. He's not in his box. He's retiring. Germane Zappala becomes another retirement from this race, or fifth retirement. So not the race of attrition that we had yesterday. But probably just pushed the brakes a bit too hard. Didn't have enough brake cooling, I expect. And race over.
He should be classified, though. I think he's finished 90% of the race. He should be classified. He won't score points, but he technically is a classified finisher in this race, is Germane Zappala. And he can be proud of where he was. It will be disheartening to be out of the race, but he was running in the top 10 throughout it. And I think if he can, maybe it was just a little bit too aggressive a brake duct setting, but if he can get that dialed in for the next race of the season, he will definitely be a consistent top 10. He's proven himself to me today, for sure.
Indeed, he was doing a good job right up until that happened. Yanni Simoncic just had a little look at Brewer. So Simoncic is now close enough to this group of cars to actually start attacking. He's dropped back a little way because that didn't work. But I expect he's going to be right back on them again in just a couple of seconds. So Kilk versus Brewer versus Simoncic. Whoever is going to stand on the third step of the podium would have thoroughly deserved it here.
Indeed. The podium is far from decided, obviously, at the moment. It's still lap 56 of 58. There is still a fair ways to go. Anything can change in a couple of laps, and, well, we know that all too well here at GPVWC. But I think one thing is looking like a dead cert at the moment, that it's going to be an Irish victory here in Australia for Adam Maguire, as he's going to complete his 56th lap and start the last lap but one in this Grand Prix. He has displayed exemplary consistency and a genius tyre choice, and he is going to take the first victory of the 2020 season if he keeps this up. He's going to take it for Adonis Engineering, and he'll be a very happy Menno Clon watching from the sidelines if he keeps this up.
Indeed, he's still, well, we're talking too soon. He's still got a couple of laps to go. He's on lap 57 out of 58. So there's this and one more. But Adonis looking to be in a very good position, not to curse or anything. We've got Buck second, Kilk, Brewer, and Simoncic still fighting over that third position. Kearsmaker's almost passing Masculi there, and we've lost Maciej Winnick. So Maciej Winnick,
brake blades again.
Yeah, it's another brake failure. So some cars really starting to struggle with the brakes here, and that's why I say we're talking too soon when we're talking about the leaders, because nothing is confirmed yet. This is a relatively hard track in terms of the brakes, and a couple of cars are finding that out, or a couple of drivers rather, are finding that out the hard way. Previous seasons we've seen this a lot at Baku, especially because of the heavy braking there, but Albert Park seeming just as lethal.
Yeah, Alex Cooper and David Freilich are very close at the moment. Another one to possibly watch, but you've got to watch your brakes in this late stage. Adam Maguire can watch his brakes. He's going to start the final lap of the race, just needs to back it off a little bit. If he wants to, at least he can afford to. He's got 4 seconds to Yannick Bokbis, well, 3.2 now, and I think he is backing it off a little bit. I think he's probably heard from Menno Clark. Drivers are struggling with the brakes. Just ease it down, back it down, make this car get to the end in P1. That's what he wants. He's not going for any fastest lap heroics. He's a calm, composed, sensible Adam Maguire, and he knows all he has to do is get that car to the end.
So So, final lap now for Adam Maguire and for Yannick Buck, and for the battle for third. Ooh,
Oh,
little
yeah.
slide from Brewer there, and I think that Kilk probably has this in the bag now. Although again, still too early to call. So, just a few corners to go now for Adam Maguire in his first Super League race since 2018, and only his second race, I think, for Edonis. I think he did one race for Edonis back in 2016. I may be getting that wrong, but
It was I'll tell you exactly who he was. It was Red Archer and Kerner he drove for in 2016.
sure.
But he has definitely been waiting for this moment. He has had 5 GPVWC Super League starts since he comes on the second last corner. He's had 2 DNFs. He's had a 12th place. He's had a 10th place. Never cracks the top 8, the top 5, or the top 3. But he's going to do it today. They'll be singing the Soldier song all night long in Ireland for Adam Maguire. Victory at last for the Irishman, who wins for Adonis Engineering in Australia. A display of imperative genius from the Irishman. Yannick Buck, the reigning champion, gets the second best start he could have asked for of the season. He finishes P2. Right, Kilk holds on from Daniel Brewer and Yerny Simitic in the end. It's an Estonian podium for Right Kilk. Red Archer in third, Remedge in fourth, from Best Basileia in fifth. Yerny Simitic, a solid race. Dennis Jordan P6, a great day at the races for Evolution Motorsports then. Stefan Bruel, 7th for Holland Racing Team. Eros Pashuli, 8th. Matthew Williams, 9th. Lauren Kiersmack is his 10th. Matthias Musa, 11th. Luca D'Amelio, a solid 12th. Robin Panzar, 13th. Mr. Consistency himself, David Feidig, will finish 14th. And Alex Cooper for Green Stripes Motorsport will round out the points. What a day at the races that was. And what a sweet victory for Adam Maguire.
And a change for 16th right before the flag. Not that it matters unless someone ahead gets a post-race penalty. But Pascal there just got past Gaia right before the line. Also, there was a close call for Cooper. You were saying he was celebrating his P15. He almost lost it at the final corner. So the drama going on right up until the end. But anyway, there's the finishing order. And drivers finishing out of the points were Pascal, Gaia, Gobby, Lucchini, Alpius, and Butcher, plus everyone who retired.
Quite so indeed. But what a race that was. We didn't lie when we said that was going to be a great race, and it was an absolutely solid drive from Maguire. But hats off to Yannick Buck, who stuck there all race long. And Right Kilk, a podium for the Estonian and a podium for Red Archer. Nikos Evangelitis, I can't even pronounce his last name, but Nikos Evangelitis, I think is how you pronounce it. But he will be so happy to have been as a team manager. A podium for him, a podium for Kilk. You can't deny that was a good rope from Run from right there.
Totally. Great job from everyone on the podium. My driver of the day has to be Adam Maguire because, of course, equal machinery, and he was top of the world. Less than 2 seconds out of Buck at the end of the day, but still, to beat the reigning world champion at a circuit like this, in a car like this, after a year on the over a year on the sidelines, yeah, that's pretty impressive. Adam Maguire gets my vote for that, and also congrats to Buck and Kilk for their podiums, and also I'd say probably the best team today was Evolution Motorsports, just as we saw all the way through last season. They were 2nd and 6th, and both of them I expect to be championship contenders again this year.
Indeed, they'll all be fighting up there, fighting all the races and going for it like there is no tomorrow throughout the season. I think we've proven just what a show Super League can put on. And, well, not without drama. We saw break fade at the end. Germano Zapala, the first to go. YTF1 really just cannot get any luck these days, can they?
Totally not. They were on course for a fantastic result in that beautifully liveried YTF1 Cosmo car, but yeah, very unlucky for them to retire that late. You run it fine sometimes with the brakes, and obviously that was over on the wrong side of the thin line. But anyway, he wasn't the only one. Matching Winnick, of course, also caught out in his car, and yeah. That's a lot.
Well, that was a great race, a great day at the races, a fantastic Australian Grand Prix, possibly the only one this year if you're a GPVWC and Formula One follower. But well, we'll hopefully be able to get some interviews sorted with the top 3 from this race. That, of course, being Maguire from Jordan Maguire from Buck from Kelk. Hopefully we'll be able to get those in the commentary box. Maybe even Menno Clont, Adonis Engineering team manager. And well, I will give you an interesting statistic. Fastest lap of the race went to Fabrizio Gobi. So there was something to take away for Abruzzi from that race. They managed to get something. They won something.
They won something indeed. It wasn't a great race for the Abruzzi guys. Of course, Abruzzi was previously ACR and before Vodbull. They were the most successful team in 2017 and 2018, and also very successful in 2019 as well, with Siebel coming third in the championship. But today, yeah, not a great start. Gobi was fairly, he was fairly good, very very fast, not as consistent or clean as he should have been. But they can work on that for the future rounds.
Indeed, and well, we do in fact have our first interview here, and it is the race winner, Adam Maguire, waiting to be interviewed. So we'll bring him in, and we'll be sure to discuss pretty much everything that went down from his perspective in the race with him. So we are joined now by the first Superleague winner of 2020, Adam Maguire. 5 races and now a win. Congratulations. That must be a big bugbear off your chest.
Hi guys, cheers. Thank you so much. I wouldn't lie that I was absolutely sweating after that.
I can imagine, but it was an absolutely brilliant performance for myself. Such a consistent drive, threatening to overhaul the likes of David Feidig as Mr. Consistency. That last stint, was there a lap that wasn't within a second of each other on those hards?
No, the hard tire is just, it's so easy to push it without worrying about wear. So I was just managing the gap between Buck, and if he was going fast, I put in a faster lap, and that was really it.
Yeah, it was a brilliant, brilliant stint for myself, and really just trucking it along, just trying to get that car to the end. Did you feel the pressure from Yannick behind? Obviously, as the reigning champion, he was after something to prove. He was trying a different strategy to you, but were you feeling the pressure from him?
Yeah, I thought since he went on the mediums that he was saving his tires a bit, and that he would eventually turn up the pace a bit towards the end, but it just kind of never came. So I just managed the stint really, and oh, I don't know. I feel like I've put in so much laps, so I'm really happy that I kind of came out P1, but I wasn't expecting it at all.
Well, it's always nice when you don't expect it and it happens anyway, and you manage to find yourself in a race winning position. And well, obviously, that's going to give you a big boost for the season going ahead. Obviously, you got 15 more races ahead of you, and well, we'll just have to see how those go, I assume. But I assume that has really given you the boost that you needed or wanted, or just generally were after. Because now you've won a Super League race. Do you think they're going to come in thick and fast?
Uh, we'll see, I guess. I don't know how I usually go around the other tracks, but Australia is usually quite a strong track for me. But yeah, it's definitely given me a bit more of a confidence boost. I haven't raced in quite a long time. Took a bit of a break from sim racing, so it's good to come back and get a good result straight out the bat.
Well, it's been a fantastic race for you. I'm sure Caitlin Penny has a few questions for you as well, just before we let you go to presumably go and celebrate in style.
Thanks, mate.
Yes, congrats, Adam, for that victory. It was absolutely fantastic. Pull to flag, disregarding the pit stages, of course. How much training and practice did you actually have to do to make your super return?
If if I wasn't lying, I'd say easily over 1,000 laps. Easily.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so yeah, I definitely put in a lot of practice. A lot of race practice. I'm quite known for not being exactly the best in the race, but I kind of went with a different approach this year and focused a lot on race practice, race setup, and yeah, that's basically it. I just different approach, different driving style, and yeah, it all worked out.
It certainly did. Thank you for dropping in, and we wish you the best of luck for the rest of the season. Not the
Cheers,
rest,
guys. Thank
of
you.
course.
Cheers, guys. Thank
Well,
you. Bye bye.
it has been a pleasure having you, and well, I assume the drinks are on you this evening. Well done, Adam Maguire. Fantastic job, and well, good luck for the rest of the season.
Thanks, guys. See you now.
Wow, what a race that was from Adam Maguire. And we bring now Yannick Bach, our second placer and reigning champion, into the fray. Yannick, possibly not quite the start of the season you wanted, but P2 still very, very respectable.
Hello. Yeah, the results very good. For the pace today, we were lacking pace and destroyed the tires, so P2 the best I could get today.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it was a tough one from the outset. This track, very, very tough on brakes, tough on tyres, and you had the excellent Adam Maguire ahead of you pushing hard. I assume you were giving it the absolute beans at the end of the race to try and catch him.
Yeah, congrats to Adam. He was the fastest man today, so great job. Yeah, I tried to catch him or get near him, but he always could respond, and so he was always 5 seconds, 6 seconds away, and I had no chance today.
Yeah, I mean, it was a tough one, absolutely. I mean, I don't blame anyone for saying. I think you can definitely hold your head held high coming out of this race. It was a very good start of the season for you and Evolution, obviously second and I believe sixth overall. That I think Dennis Jordan was sixth, wasn't he?
I don't know.
Well,
Honestly.
yeah. Well, I mean,
I drove
obviously,
my own race.
you were obviously so busy driving your own race. I don't blame you for not knowing, but it was a good race. It looked like a good race all in all for Evolution, and you'll probably be very high in the Constructors' Championships coming out of that. So surely the goal for the rest of the season is to keep this sort of forward momentum going and get a few more wins.
Yeah, for sure. We want to win every race, and we need to step up the preparation. And yeah, hopefully we will be on top of the podium next time.
Of course, I mean, you've got a title to defend, so it's not going to come easily when you've got a competition like that. And I'm sure Caitlin and Penny will know that all too well. Any questions for our winning champion?
So Yannick, we know that you won the championship last season. You know what it takes to play the long game, to go for points over the season as a whole. What are your expectations, your goals, and your plans for the season ahead?
Obviously, we want to win every race, and so the title defense is the biggest goal for this season. And yeah, today we were lacking pace a lot, and yeah, we need to step up to give McGuire a good run in the next races.
Well, congrats on your second place finish, and we wish you the best of luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Indeed. Well done, Yannick, and a fantastic result from you. Obviously, season ahead, still a long road, but definitely going to be a good one for you. I'm sure with performances like that. Congratulations and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
We're just trying to get a hold of somebody else in the commentary at the moment. It doesn't look like our third place at Right Cooks around or Daniel Brewer or Yeni Sivic in P5. I can see Florian Gaia hanging about. It might be possible for us to talk with him. I'm not sure. Well, we have brought him in. Florian, welcome to the broadcast booth. Obviously, you, the sole Street Fighter Racing Systems car on the grid today after Fabio 6 had to had a bit of a problem. So I'm assuming the pressure was on you then.
Hello. Well, I had some issues myself, and obviously we had this mod thing that 2 days ago completely made every second preseason testing worthless, basically. So yeah, we had a pretty good car today, I guess. Yeah, Fabio had some issues with work due to this coronavirus thing, so he couldn't race, and yeah, it's actually quite sad because he was still pretty quick despite the issues we had. So I reckon he could have got some points home today for us. But yeah, it was quite a struggle today.
Yeah, indeed. And well, I imagine it was a struggle. Obviously, what we heard about what happened to Fabio 60, we do hope he's all right and is able to make other races in this season. Obviously, it is a dreadful thing that's going on around the world, but ultimately the show must go on. The show did go on for yourself and the rest of the team, and it felt like a bit of a struggle from where we were sitting. But obviously, everyone has bad races eventually. And obviously, you said you had issues leading up to the race, but looking forward to the rest of the season, then hopefully it's going to be a bit more positive. Hopefully, he'll be back in the strong end of the points soon.
Yeah, I think the pace from our sister team at Green Stripes was pretty strong with Alex, and I think we just have a bit more work cut out for us, and for the next race, I'm pretty sure Fabio could be up there with the top guys. But yeah, we'll have to see next round. Today just pretty messy overall, and yeah, we'll see. I just want to congratulate Adam on his win, and yeah, hopefully things work out better in 2 weeks.
Yeah, hopefully they do. On commiserations, obviously, on the slightly disappointing race today, Florian, but hopefully Street Fighter will be back to the rest this season and making a good progress back up the field.
Yeah, and I also want to say thanks for Ben.
Well, of course, team manager, Street Fighter Racing Systems, your boss, and well, obviously got a very important job in his own right. But thank you very much, Florian Gaia.
Thanks.
So that just about rounds it off. Been a bit of pretty mental day at the races, hasn't it? Caitlin, Penny, have you got any closing thoughts before we say our goodbyes and move on to the next round?
Bring on the next round. That's all I've got to say. If it's anything like today, then yeah, we've got a treat in store.
Absolutely. I mean, sometimes the simplest roundups are the best, and we'll keep it relatively simple because we know that there's another race coming up in just 2 weeks' time, the Bahrain Grand Prix from the Bahrain International Circuit in Sakir. It's going to be a tough one on the brakes again, going to be a tough one on the tyres, but it's not going to be Melbourne because Melbourne has served up a treat, and I'm sure Bahrain might even eclipse it. Who knows? But either which way, from myself, from Caitlin Penny, from Gerrit de Vries, everyone here at GPVWC, it's been a crazy day at the races in Australia, but it's first blood to Adam Maguire as Adonis Engineering back on the winning sheet. We'll see you in 2 weeks for the Bahrain Superleague Grand Prix.